go dance you.
Hello guys, how are you doing? It's your homeboy Guy. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are doing fine. Myself, I'm perfectly fine. I'm doing this video because I want to talk a little bit about Japan. I want to talk a little bit about Japan and also want to talk about the Philippines at the same time. The reason why I want to talk about Japan today, it's because for most of you who knows me very well, you know the relation that I have with Japan. And for those who doesn't know me, if you watch some of my previous video, I'm pretty sure that you will quickly figure out the relation that I have with Japan, or what linked me to Japan. Now I decided to talk about Japan because often people are asking me this question: why are you not moving to Japan? When do you plan to move to Japan? Or why are you staying in the Philippines instead of Japan? So maybe for those who are not aware of, and I think also that's the reason why some of people here, especially Filipino, are asking me that question, is because looking on the internet, I even found out that one of the pro-Japan country, one of the most pro-Japan country, if you can classify in the world, Philippines is among the top. I think from what I saw, like more than 84% of Filipino are pro-Japan. Not pro-Japan in the sense that they just support Japan just to support, but they're even willing to be relocated in Japan if they have to choose a country where to be relocated. Japan is one of the top favorite, and I think maybe 12% have a negative view of Japan, which is very, very, very low. And well, when you look at the relation between Philippines and Japan, yes, there were World War II where Japan did some, dirty stuff here in the Philippines, but being able to get back up to 80% of people willing to, or 80% of people pro-Japan, loving the country, enjoying the country, and willing to be relocated to that country, you should have really, have done a big effort, do a really big adjustment, and your country must probably be really interesting for people who suffer for so long to be able to switch their mind and then go back there. But that's well deserved, because honestly, when you look at Japan right now, yes, it's definitely one of the countries where it's good to be in general. Probably economically speaking, Japan is ahead, right? Maybe technology wise, Japan is ahead, and that's fact. That's not something that it's not like subjective. If you look at the economic just on the, it's a clearly fact, right? Even though Philippines is one of the most growing economy here in the Southeast Asia, I will even say in Asia in general, economy of the Philippines are really going crescendo. But Japan is still ahead, right? It's a very developed country. Nobody can contest that. These are facts. And probably that's the reason why some people are always asking me that question, because in the I guess in the mind of most of people sometimes, first of all, better live to a developed country. I mean, to a more developed country. Secondly, will probably be the fact that Japan with culture, right? The foods, tremendous food. There is no question about it. I went there, I ate the food. It's in terms of quality and clean food, you will hardly find a better country offering clean food like as Japan. And I witnessed it myself. Before, I wasn't even able to eat raw fish. Like when I say raw fish, like sushi and stuff like that, because I was used to eat fish that are not so fresh. Even after cooking for several hours, I still feel like the fish is not really fresh. How much more eat something that is close to be raw? So I learned how to eat it in Japan, and right now it's one of my favorite dish when I'm in Japan. All right, so food speaking, no problem there. When it comes to discipline on how things are done, I mean, as a foreigner, when I go there, I don't feel like there is a difference. I mean, at least in the treatment, I don't think that there is a difference, in the sense that if I want to buy something, the price is already there. I will not really have to go through those negotiations where I need to bargain the price, or feel like people will give me the wrong price and then just get my money. I'm not sure if it's like that with all the country, but for the few times that I have went there and few experience that I had there, it was pretty much okay on that space. I didn't really have too much inconvenience when it's come to that. But probably now the question is why I'm not there yet, given all the things that I have said, culturally speaking, they have a great culture. They keep their culture for so long. Very traditional country. There are so many things to visit in that country when you go there. People are very, you know, it's a very calm, very peaceful. There is no noise and stuff like that. One of the things that even blew my mind when I went there is that I was driving with my wife. I mean, my wife was driving, and the whole time that we were driving for a couple kilometers, I didn't even hear the car blow the horn even one time. Not at all. I seen somebody want to pass. If they saw that you were the first waiting, they will let you pass first, and then they will come and pass after you. So anyway, I don't have to teach you how. I mean, everybody knows the culture there, right? When it's come to like being polite or being, you know, behaving. We know that this country is a reference for many countries. But that's not just all the things that I'm looking when I'm traveling to a country. And probably that's one of the reasons why I'm not yet, I haven't decided to settle in Japan. Because in opposition to the Philippines, which is not a negative point for the Philippines by the way, but and for Japan, culturally I respect that. It's just now that I have to choose. I'm not saying that one is good, one is bad. I just have to choose what I think fit me the best. But everybody has their own culture and we respect that. Now you just have to look at the one that you feel close to that. And when it's come to the Philippines, I think they are a bit close to me because first of all, I don't like to, I'm not that type of people who stay in the square, you know. I cannot just content myself to stay in the square and never put my feet out of the square. This is something that is so challenging for me. Let's say, for example, talking, simple things like talking. Usually as an African, when you're talking, it seems like we're arguing. We are usually talking loudly. And even in the office, when I talk beside Filipino, especially when I talk in French, when you speak in French with some of my fellow Africans, they tend to think that you're fighting or you're arguing. Sometimes one of my colleagues or friends Filipino will approach me and ask me, why you guys are arguing? What's going on? But in fact, we're just talking. And even worse, when I'm drinking with my friends or with my buddies, it's become totally like we are in a fight, right? That's something that already in Japan, it's not so common. You go in the train, wherever you are, I mean, people are really minding the way they express themselves. It's like the volume, you should make sure that, you know, you keep it low. And naturally, it's not something that I can easily do because it's not in my nature, and it's going to take some time for me to be able to practice that kind of things. I don't know if it's a good or bad negative point, but that's one thing. I went to the train station there, we ride a train, nobody's talking. While usually in the Philippines here, even though people are not talking that much, but still people are talking in the train. It's still bearable. And guess if you are going where nobody's talking at all in the train, that's very difficult for me. So these are among several examples. That's, for example, among several reasons, this is one of the reasons that I can highlight. The people also, the people themselves also there, they are very nice, they are very okay. But I think for me, I enjoy so much Japan as long as I go there as tourist and I just stay as a tourist. At the moment that I have to stay there too long, I have a tendency to feel like I have done the complete tour of the country. Because I think the longest time that I have been there was maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure if I'm saying something wrong, but a bit close than 2 weeks. The longest time that I have been there. And believe me, I feel like, okay, I've seen everything that I have to see there. Like temple, I went to some temple, I ate some great food, I met some great people, I met the family that of my wife, great family, everybody was okay. But quickly I feel like, okay, I've seen everything and then it's time to leave. So if just in 2 weeks I had that feeling, I'm wondering how it's going to be the feeling if I spend like 1 year there. Because actually most of the things that people maybe don't understand, again, that's probably also subjective, huh? Is that when you go somewhere for a short time, you feel like everything seems new, everything seems amazing, because you are there for a short time and you're curious about everything. So everything that you're seeing is new. It can be a random plate of sushi that they're serving you, to maybe a simple Hachiko, you know, status there in Shibuya, or just crossing Shibuya. It's all that is special because you are not living there, and then it's things that you're just seeing as you're going because you know that you're there for a very short time. But as long as at the moment that you're staying there for 1 year, I'm not sure that Shibuya will still be something that is very impressive for you. I'm not sure that Hachiko statue will still be something that is special for you. But these are also influenced by the culture. From where I'm coming from in Africa, people are very open, talkative, and easy to approach. Japan is not easy to approach. No, it's not that they are not easy to approach, but you know, they need to know you to be suddenly talking to you, like, you know, something that I never see there. I never be in the street walking and I see somebody say, hey, what's up, and start talking to me. Never ever. In the Philippines, I have seen so many people saying that to me. They don't know me. Even just in the airport, I already told you the story. I arrived in the Philippines in the airport. The guy saw me and he started laughing and saying idol, and that was someone from immigration staff. So can you imagine how comfortable it is that you are just arrived, and then with all the pressure and stuff like that, and then you see someone from the immigration calling you idol and start laughing. That's really a super perfect icebreaker, right? Same go to the street. Even now, I used to walk in the street, people are calling me idol, maybe because they're a fan of basketball, thinking that I'm that famous basketball guy. Some even asking photo, you know. These are things that also it's a bit similar in Africa, because in Africa, when you go to my country specifically, you can see people approaching you without really knowing you. They go to you, start talking to you and stuff like that. So when I came in the Philippines, it became a little bit similar, while in Japan, it's totally different. So again, this is also because of the culture where I'm coming from. It's matching more with the Filipino culture compared to the Japanese culture. And probably one of the last point, which is not the least, is the language, right? It's the language. To be honest, I've started learning Japanese already for a couple months. I even enrolled myself to a school, and it wasn't really complicated. Surprisingly, I find it very easy compared to somebody who want to learn French. You know, you guys know that I teach French. And I have said to a lot of my students who didn't believe me that the French is 10 times more harder than Japanese. Yes, 10 times more harder than Japanese. I started learning Japanese, and when I start understanding some basic structure and fundamentals, it seems like you just have to put a minimal effort and then you will be starting speaking Japanese. And as of today, the time that I have put to learn Japanese, I think if you compare me to somebody putting the same time to learn French, it's really behind compared to me, because it's kind of easy. The only problem is that sometimes when you don't see that alphabet, those letters that you're familiar to, like A, B, C, the way that they're writing is totally different. You feel like this is a different world, and then it's something that I never seen in my life. That's why you feel like it's more easier to maybe learn Spanish, maybe English, or because they're using the alphabet letter. But in fact, Japanese is super easy. The problem is that I'm too busy, maybe too old, I'm too lazy to start learning a new language. So don't get me wrong, it's not that Japanese is hard, it's just that I'm too lazy, too old maybe, my brain is too tired to start learning a new language at my age. And since I don't want to go through that necessarily, I feel a bit lazy to now move to a country where I have to start from the ground. I mean, start learning the language, basically learning some basics. No, I already some basics, but definitely be proficient. Speak enough to be able to have a job, because definitely if you need to work, speaking a language, it's probably giving you 80% of chance to be able to work there. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. But to give you a clear answer, will I move to Japan? Yes, definitely I'm planning to move to Japan, and then I think I should move to Japan at certain point of my life. But will I move there because I want to move there? Because for me, I feel like it's better than Philippines on my sole perspective? No, I don't think so. Again, it doesn't mean that it's just culturally I feel like I'm close to the Philippine culture than Japan culture, but for the sake of my family, then yes, I will definitely move there, because culturally I'm not from the Philippines. My wife is not from the Philippines. Definitely we are either going to move in Africa at a certain point and come in Japan at a certain point, to at least culturally give something heritage. I mean, to at least give an heritage that is from either me or my wife to my kid. And definitely yes, the educational system in Japan is pretty good. I have checked, I have went through some review and stuff like that. It's a country to be when you have kids, when you have the kids to grow, to raise, safety wise, you know, quality of education. That's probably the reason why I'm going to move there. So yes, if you see me there one day, you should know that that's for the reason. When it's come to job, there is a job there. Definitely there's a lot of job there. There's a lot of opportunity there, but I have already a job here in the Philippines, right? So I'm not going to say that I need to move there because I don't have a job here. Or business wise, it's probably a little bit open for foreigner compared to here. Again, from the little research that I have done, it seems like to invest here in the Philippines, you have to have a little bit good amount of money. Or maybe if you are married with some local people here, it can be easier for you to invest here, which is not my case. And probably if I move to Japan, it's going to be the same scenario. I need to be with a local to have some easy access in doing business there. But overall, that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope this one give a bribe of answer on why to me at this point is Japan over Philippines. Keep liking, keep sharing, more importantly keep subscribing. Be bala.